Okay, hi guys, and welcome to today's show. Today, an absolutely chock-a-block episode. Got a lot to cover, so maybe you should go and make a cup of tea and come back, get settled, and let's get into it. So, what are we doing in today's show? Well, the best deals I could find, well, some of the best deals I could find for Breitling, used Breitlings and Sinn watches from around the $1,000 mark to about $3 to $4 grand. There's a ton out there on eBay, and I'm going to share some really good listings and some really bad listings. Also, I want to discuss some tips on finding that perfect timepiece, because I'm getting asked literally by the hour, and I really mean that. Every hour I get emails asking me this watch or that watch, which watch should I look at, this price range, all the rest of it. So I'm going to try and give some tips and some advice to a lot of you out there. Now, of course, I've got to do my wristwatch check. What am I wearing today? It is my Submariner. We were talking about dive watches, and I haven't worn my subby, my darling little subby, in absolutely donkeys. So it's nice to get it back in rotation. That's one thing I do love about a big watch collection. When you don't see a piece for a while, you get it back into rotation, and you're kind of reminded of everything you love about that watch. So, wristwatch check done. Without further ado, let's roll the intro and get into today's video. So let's start with sharing some tips, things I've kind of picked up along the watch collecting journey, so to speak, of how to find your perfect timepiece. Guys, bear in mind, I know I have my regular audience, but we get new subscribers every single day. I am repeating a little bit, so bear with me, but for the newer viewers, it is worthy to take some of this on board. Now, the first thing you must consider when you are trying to choose or find that perfect timepiece is when you are going to wear it. Is it going to be for the weekend away? Is it going to be for every day? Is it going to be for formal occasions, for dressing up, for church? Who knows? When is it going to when are you going to wear it? That really does affect the genre and the style of the watch. So always keep that in mind. When are you going to wear it? If you're going for an everyday watch, divers, field watches, more robust timepieces are advisable. Also, kind of narrow down the search. You want to figure out if you're going to go quartz or mechanical. Obviously being springs and wheels, traditional watchmaking, And then quartz, there's so much in quartz. Solar, eco drive, traditional batteries, all the rest of it. Quartz is always more accurate, more robust. And then of course mechanical, you've got that romance of traditional watchmaking. So there's advantages and disadvantages to both, and you really have to figure that out. Every time you narrow the search down, you're cutting more watches away, and you're getting closer to finding that perfect timepiece. Thank you, NYPD. Now, when you consider this, thank you guys, and also consider what you do for a living. I know, how does this dictate your watch, but you'll be surprised. It's logical. Listen, if you're a carpenter, if you're a builder, if you're somebody that's going to bash the watch about, then obviously you want something tough and robust. Go with the quartz, go with the G-Shock, that kind of thing. If you're a suit and tie kind of guy going to the office every day, maybe you want something a little bit smarter, something a little bit more formal that will slip under the cuff. That kind of thing. So what you do, without a doubt, affects the watch you're going to get more than anything. Thirdly, consider your style. And what I mean by that is sartorially, how you dress. If you are a suit and tie guy, then obviously, like I just mentioned, dress watches are going to be the go-to style, right? If you're more casual, however, a dress watch might not fit that look. If you're in an Adidas tracksuit all day, a Valjoux Reverso is not, you could do whatever you want. There's no rules to fashion. That's the beautiful thing about fashion. It also works in reverse. If you're wearing a suit, a G-Shock just doesn't look good. That's the beautiful thing about fashion. If you want to wear a Savile Row suit with Nike Air Force Ones, go ahead. But I'm just trying to give my little bit of advice. So always consider your personal style. Try and step away and look at yourself from an outside perspective. How do you dress? What is your style? How do you want to be perceived? You know, what goes and matches your style? Then you can figure out colors, certain genres of watch, and then match it to your personal taste. Because at the end of the day, watches are an extension. They are a reflection of your personality and your taste as well. So always keep your style into consideration. Fourth thing is budget. Budget really does affect your watch. But the great thing is, have a look back at my videos. I've covered every single budget. Watches under $50. Manual wind, automatic, quartz, you name it, you can find it under $50. You don't have to spend that much money to get a great watch. Under $100, I've done another video. Under 500, 400, under 1,000, and then beyond. Now the great thing is, as my channel grows, I've got more access to any watch. I'm going to be looking at super high-end watches very, very soon. Lange's, Pateks, that kind of thing. But not everybody has that kind of money to spend. Not so long ago, I held a poll in the Facebook group, and the most requested or popular price bracket was from about $400 to $500. But that's the thing. You go to the shopping mall, you spend that kind of money, you get a cheaply made quartz fashion watch with not that much, you know, going on there. But if you spend that money online with a little bit of know-how and a little bit of research, which is going into the next point, you can find amazing watches that will last you a lifetime, that you can hand down and start a tradition with to the next generation. You know, something you can be really proud of, something with horological worth and pedigree even, you know. So the more you know, the more empowered you will be. And that kind of goes into my next point of research. Guys, always check back my video archives. I've covered all price ranges, and I will continue to do so until my time, pun intended, is up. Research. The more you know, and there's a wealth of information. There's great channels. There's Federico out there. There's Theo and Harris if you want to go the vintage route. He has fantastic videos. Federico, of course, more the higher end stuff. His wealth of knowledge, his experience is invaluable, really is invaluable. And then of course you got me, which is, I'm an enthusiast. I'm not an expert. I'm learning absolutely every day, and you guys hopefully are on a journey with me. Between us, there's a wealth of knowledge. Check out the Facebook group. We've got almost 13,000 watch aficionados, watch fans, people in the industry. The amount and access to knowledge in there is undoubtable, is amazing. Very, very lucky, and I'm very honored to have so many esteemed experts in the group, and I really respect them. So go in there, post the question, engage with the community. Don't just, you know, take. You have to engage, you have to discuss, always be respectful, and they will look after you. It's a great group, it's a great community, and I'm very proud of it. So the more knowledge you have, knowledge is power in all things in life. When it comes to buying something, just like you're buying a car or buying an item of jewelry, the more you know, the more prepared you are, the better empowered you are, and the better position you are to make an informed decision, and therefore you find the right watch. Research is king. Don't just go down to Macy's and spend $500 on some Chinese quartz that is badly made, that has no craftsmanship, that has no horological heritage or meaning to it. Just a name, it's just a logo. For that money you can get amazing timepieces, you really can. So honestly, a little bit of research and you will find, and for me it's the most fun part. Now the next point is always go with your heart over your head. I've made this mistake many, many times. I do the kind of ticking of the boxes type thing, right? I think, oh, suit my collection. This color will go with my wardrobe. This movement, I haven't got this brand. I haven't got this movement. And I tick boxes and I forget the one most important thing, and that is you've got to fall in love with it. It's like lasting relationships. I've been married for a long, long time, and successful relationships are because there's a genuine love there. It's the same with all things. We're looking for true love. Don't try and tick boxes too much. Yeah, break it down. If you're deciding between, I get this all the time, should I buy the Rolex Submariner or the Speedmaster Man on the Moon? Well, first of all, they're very different watches. Break it down, analyze it, look at the pros and cons. That's a really good thing to do, I might add. Listing all the pros and cons, analyzing. But at the end of the day, go with your heart. Which one will give you the most pleasure? Are you more excited about? That's the lasting relationship. I hate to use life partners as a metaphor, but go with your heart over your head always. And last thing to consider is the genre and the complications of the watch. Sometimes it really dictates what kind of watch you get. Maybe you're into chronographs, maybe you're into divers, maybe you're into, I don't know, skeletonized pieces. You got to find what floats your boat. And that again helps to narrow down the search. But above that, the complication is something that can be very useful in life. If you're a pilot, if you are traveling a lot, a GMT is very, very useful. If you're a diver, then do I have to say it? You know, or actually dive watches, to be honest, if you're that kind of action adventure, going Miami in the weekend, every other weekend, that kind of thing, divers are great. I use my chronographs a lot for my fitness regime. I time myself when I'm doing planks, when I'm doing press-ups, that kind of thing. So always bear in mind the complication. Now there are, of course, complications that are kind of a bit useless, like moon phases, but they have a different aspect. They have a romance, they have a charm. More often than not, the complication really will dictate price and the genre of watch. So always bear that in mind. How useful will it be to your lifestyle and to your life? So always bear that in mind. One last thing I must add, and that it is, especially buying online, it is difficult to try the watches on. But guys, honestly, go and try the watches on. I'll give you the example. We were discussing the Seiko Monster the other day. I never liked that watch until I tried it on in person for a review, and I was blown away. I was really impressed by it. So always try it on as well. I would recommend, if you can't, there are brands, a lot of the German watches, or watches from overseas, they're just not in the stores. So sometimes it is a bit of a risk. Pay attention to measurements and all the rest of it. But if you can, always try the watch on. It really makes a big difference. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to rabbit on too long. This is going to be a very long video, but hopefully useful to you guys. Also, my audience out there, I would love to hear your feedback, your bits of advice. Please add them in the comments. I really would appreciate that. Now, without further ado, let's change perspectives and have a look at some Breitlings, used Breitlings and Sinn watches on eBay. From about the $1,000 mark and upwards. So Sinn, as you know, is one of my favorite German watchmakers. They make some absolutely incredibly high quality pieces, and we've kind of discussed this many times. Are they luxury? Well, I think they're certainly luxury standard. But anyway, I thought I'd share with you some cracking deals and some not so good deals. So let's start first of all. This is the Sinn 656. Classic pilot watch, as you can see from the styling, beautiful big lume. This is a used piece and it's listed from Osaka, Japan. As you can see, actually, let me just zoom in a little bit. Buy it now. Now the feedback, this person has a 30 feedback rating. It is 100%, so they are still relatively new, even though their feedback's 100%. Normally, I wouldn't buy from somebody as new to eBay. However, and I've said this many times, Japanese watch sellers tend to be very, look at the detail. We've got lots of detail, lots of information about shipping. They do tend to be very professional, and I've never had any issues from ordering from Japan. We get a good listing here, and the pictures are pretty good too. We've got nice close-ups of the back, the box there, and there we go. However, the price, $981, is free shipping. It's not a great price because if we go over to the Watch Buy's website, this is the official distributor for Sinn in the United States. I've actually bought from them, Watch Buy's. They're very competent. They carry lots of amazing brands, as you see here. Lots of favorites: Fortis, Sinn, Hanhart, Junghans, Nomos. A lot of favorites in there. So I can definitely attest to their professional service. So here we have the brand new one for $1,080. So there's not really much point, and they have both versions. There's two versions of the 556. There's the classic kind of numeral version, and then there's the just the plain. Now with the batons, but this is the cool thing, they have a special edition, and this is a little bit sad, but this little red second hand just changes everything for me. In fact, I actually quite like the numerals because of the lume. Let's take a closer look. They've also got a shot of the back. What movement is it? Doesn't actually say. So this is a really cool watch. Let's just have a look at that red hand. Oh, just does it for me. That addition of that red hand there. Sorry, that little dot is just a reflection of my camera. Just ignore that. Made in Germany. There we go. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Great size, 38mm. And look, what is the price? We're talking... Where is the price? 1,180 brand new. So, you know, for a couple of $100 more, you might as well get it new. So that's not really a good deal. But anyway, let's move on. Here's another one. This is stunning. Now, this is buy it now, but make an offer. Again, we got 100% feedback, fantastic, within the United States. They got a nice high feedback rating, which is great. They even accept 30-day money back. Always have a look at the return policy. And just look at this. Oh my gosh. Look at that dart. Look at those blued hands. Beautifully, beautifully done. It's a shame that the gold has come off, but it still looks great to me, you know. So what? And they've matched it on a beautiful strap. Really nice, lovely colors. That green, look at the green and the markings on the outside. Have they included a shot of the movement? Please say yes. Please, please include a shot. No shot of the movement. What a disappointment. Such a shame. Let's have a read what they list. They don't actually say what the movement is. That's a shame. So what age is this? We're looking at, I'm guessing 1940s as well. 35mm, wow. Lovely. That's a lovely size. It's got such class to it, hasn't it? It's a shame there's not really that much. I would email them, ask them all about the movement, ask them is there a date? They put circa 1945, so it's 40s. Yeah, there's a lot of questions to be asked. I think they could have done with more detail. Let's discuss the price. So it's a good listing. It's not the best. I would love to see a shot of the movement because, I mean, I bet the movement is a feast for the eyes. Is it working? Do they even say if it's working? Let's have a look. Movement is in very good condition. Let's see it. Come on, let's see it. It doesn't even say if it's working. That's disappointing. It's got pulsations, track, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't say if it's working. I'd email them a million questions. Have a look back at my 10 questions to ask before you buy on eBay. I'll leave there'll be a card somewhere. Anyway, 1,775, bad price. I'd make them a cheeky offer. You know, I'd ask them a ton of questions and ask them to send you a picture of the movement. Anyway, let's move on. Here we have another Sinn. Now this is the Sinn Navitimer, and if you're not aware, Sinn actually bought the rights to the Navitimer back when Breitling went pear-shaped. I think it was in the 70s, was it? Anyway, so it's not a homage. Technically, they own the rights. So, but what Sinn actually offer is, funnily enough, a superior watch. They decorate the Valjoux 7750, which is the movement you see here. Also, they, as you see here, it's 100 meters water resistant. Let's see some better photos. There we go. That's better. We have the exhibition case back. This is basically, the 903 is basically Sinn's version of my Navitimer, the model I have. It's even the same size at 41mm. So this is a really good listing. We've got lots of details, guaranteed authentic, blah blah blah, box and warranty, basic. What did they say? It may have some scratches and scuffs. Great condition. Again, they don't, sold as is, they don't say if it's actually running. I mean, that's the most basic thing, isn't it? It's like they don't want to sell the watch. Where is this person? Japan. This is Elino 1121. I've actually bought a Speedmaster of this guy, and he was very quick, very professional, and he gave me a good deal. The price here, 3,730. You can buy the Breitling Navitimer for that. I think you give him a cheeky offer. It is free shipping, 30-day money-back guarantee, and I can personally attest to this seller. The only issue is he didn't say if it's running. Let's see. I presume it's running, but don't ever presume anything. Always ask and make sure. He should have said that. He should have said that. There's another couple of Navitimers. One at 4 grand, far too much, and one at 38. Anyway, let's go back up. Sinns actually don't really come on the market that often. They do hold their value very, very well. When I owned the 104, I sold it for almost what I paid for it new, which is just crazy for a watch that costs $1,200. But that's the power of Sinn, isn't it? 100% feedback, yeah, and also, you know, I bought for them, so I know they're kosher. Let's move on. Now here is the actual Breitling Navitimer. This is the exact version I own, the A2 3322, and this is going for $37.95. Make an offer, 100% feedback, yes, good, great. Decent-ish feedback rating of 500. In Fort Lauderdale, I'm guessing this is a store. Oh my gosh, great photos. Let's have a look. Lots and lots of... This is a good listing. Here we go. Hi everyone, I am Alex, blah, 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 blah. Specialise in pre-owned watches, so yeah, he's a watch dealer. Contact us, social media. They have an Instagram. You can check them out on Instagram. That's cool. Box and papers, no. Right, well, that's why it's a little bit cheaper. All the measurements. Condition, right, here we go. They've actually separated it out. So we got dial, case, bracelet, movement. The Swiss-made Breitling automatic, blah, 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 is running. It's tested on our time graph and the crown is in the right position, blah, blah, blah. +1 to +2. Wow, this is a pro. This guy knows what he's doing. He's stating its actual accuracy to the second per day. I'm already willing to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars more just because this guy has taken the effort and is really specifying everything. So he's broken it down. The case, light wear, that's fine. The case opens and shuts smoothly. All serial reference numbers are easily seen on the back. Bracelet, black leather, so it's exactly, actually that is exactly the same one as mine. I think I paid a little bit more, but I bought mine in the UK. Fantastic photos, absolutely outstanding, lots of detail. So I would have no issues whatsoever of buying from this guy. The photos are absolutely fantastic. In fact, actually, this is probably better condition than mine. Yeah, definitely better condition than mine. So, yeah, this is a really great example of a Navitimer. And there you go, there's the time grapher there. In fact, I'm considering buying one. So yeah, let's go have a look back at the price. Now, I would haggle, but to be honest, you know, it's got 27 watches, that's a good indication. To be honest, I think he's so trusted and he knows what he's doing. You're in safe hands, and this is a dealer that's serious, you know, he wants to protect his reputation, and it's guys like this that give eBay a good name, and there's guys that are the complete opposite. So I have no issues paying a little bit more and going with this guy. Anyway, let's move on. Great listing. Yeah, if anybody buys this, let me know how they get on. I'd be interested to hear. Here we have another Breitling. Now these are very frequently listed under the 2,000, from about 1,000 to 2,000 mark, and this is the Breitling Colt. Now I'm not that familiar with this watch. I'm only really looking at it because I see so many of them, and this is quite a good example. This is an actual jeweler's, so professional, perfect feedback, 100% great, based in Illinois, 14-day money-back guarantee. This is a professional person. They've been trusted eBayer since 1998, and that's a hell of a long time. The listing is not that great, but they say it's running. They give a breakdown of its details, and the pictures are good. And it is actually in very... I mean, you see some little nicks and dinks and bits, and, you know, you see some little dinks there, here and there, but realistically, it's in very, very good nick. Just trying to figure out how polished it is. Yeah, actually, it looks in good shape. You've got box papers, everything. This is a very good example. The price isn't that wonderful. I think it's quite high. I wouldn't... Also, you know, look at these ones up here. 1,700, 1,700, 1,700, 1,800, 1,900. The price is high, but it's a good seller. Unfortunately, you have to pay shipping too, which is going to put it up to the... you know, almost 2 grand. I think that's too much. I would offer them 16, 17, but then again, you know, they've got to pay eBay fees, and they are jewelers, so I'm willing to pay more. But it's a nice example of a Colt, and there are a ton about. Right, so let's move on. Now this is a very interesting piece, listed at $1,000. Now this is a quartz Breitling Navitimer Jupiter 3300, and this is an Iraqi Air Force, very rare, well, quite rare. This is a really interesting watch. Now, they only have a feedback rating of 28. It is 100%. Normally, I would never even look at this, but this is quite an interesting piece. Now, the condition is beaten up, as you can see by the picture. We got a lot of wear on the bezel, scratches on the rim here. The insert here is very faded. Look at that red there. The hands are in good shape. The actual dial, I'm sure the lume is patinaed. This is actually a good sign. This is definitely, these parts definitely kosher. There's no shot of the back, but if you look at the dial, it's upside down in this picture, but if you recognize the Breitling logo here, this is not the normal logo. These wings actually refer to, if we have a look here, this is a special, hang on, here we are. Now this is, I did a little bit of research on this. Let's just zoom out a bit. This is the Iraqi Air Force Breitling Navitimer Pluton, and these were issued to pilots of the Iraqi Air Force a number of years and occasionally pop up at watch fairs. The back is engraved with Iraqi Air Force and the national emblem. If you remember correctly, Saddam referred to his pilots as the Young Eagles, and thus the special logo. And you have the logo on the back. Now there's all kinds of Pateks and all different versions, but this is very, very interesting. Now that's the original bracelet. I think this one, where is it? The rubber's new, so that's not, you know, but the watch looks kosher. Now they're very rare, clean Breitling quartz Navitimer made for the Iraqi Air Force. Works perfectly, comes with box, it's guaranteed authentic, blah blah blah. So I'd still open it up just because it's quartz. I'm not going to open it, you know, I'm not going to excuse it. But for $1,000, you're going to own something, a Navitimer. Yeah, okay, it's quartz, it's nothing amazing, but it has historical significance. Actually, Federico, you'll be definitely interested in this, considering our last video where he talked about Saddam. But $1,000, you do have to pay shipping. I think actually it's quite special, and yeah, you're taking a bit of a risk, but they do have 100% feedback. So let's just have a look. That's the special edition, and then you have this is the normal edition. So this is also, this is 1200 from the United Kingdom. Just look at how bashed up this one is, and it's not even, you know, it's just the standard one. It's not the Iraqi Air Force one. So I think actually this is a pretty good deal, so I'd definitely have a look at it. Right, let's move on. Next we have another little sweet spot in the Breitling aviation watches, and that is the vintage Montbrillant. This is also from Japan. This is from E-Lady. Now, I can't remember if I bought off them. The feedback, they have a really high feedback of like 10,800 there. It's 99.9. When it's not 100%, I would have a look at their feedback. So let's just quickly have a look. They had 1 negative and 113 positive. So they're fine. They obviously had a disagreement and with somebody, but generally just look at all the pieces. You know, they've sold the Cartier Santos there. They've sold Louis Vuitton bags, a vintage Rolex, all happy, happy, happy. And then we got 1 negative. Watch was inaccurate, rusted band and inside motor, no QA at all before shipping. And that was a Cartier Santos, dear oh dear. Ooh, that's definitely gonna hurt their sales. But when people get stung like that, sometimes they put their watches for a little bit cheaper and you can get a bargain. Yeah, it's risky, don't ever do it. But let's have a look at this listing. First of all, pictures great, nice big pictures. Now my first issue is the title, polished Breitling. Now they think that's gonna, you know, generate more interest. For me, anytime I see polished, you know, I'm getting scared already, because I'm frightened of over polishing and then removing, you know, layers of actually the shape, the crisp edges. I prefer dinged up. Anyway, let's see what they say. They give it a grade A. Let's see what they class as a grade A. It is obvious that the item has been used previously but is in very good condition. Is it running? They don't actually say. Yeah, I would ask a million questions, but it's not bad. I mean, look at the pictures. It's quite crisply done. I mean, it's not that bad. I presume that's E-Lady there. They got 402 views. Yeah, you'll see a ton of them about. The price is not bad. There's one for through. Is that? No, that's a standard. Do they offer returns? They 14-day money back, but shipping back to Tokyo, that would be a pain. Yeah, it's a bit of a risky one, this one, but it's a good deal, I think. Look at those hands. Very, very nice. Almost alpha style hands. Very cool. Beautiful dial. Look at that applied 12. Very nice. Anyway, let's move on. Another A23322. This is the black dial version of my one. Very nice listing. Oh no, 97%. That's pretty terrible. And their rating is only 482. New York, New York. 30-day money back guarantee. Nice pictures though. Really, I mean, wow. Look at that close up. They really got in there with a macro. What's the price? 32. Yeah, that's why it's low, because they got bad feedback. I don't even want to look at the feedback. I'm scared to look. Very nice pictures though. What do they actually say? Oh, they don't say much. Let's go back up. Wow, pathetic listing. I mean, the pictures are great, but you need to know, you know, is it working? What's the condition? What's the spec? What's the movement? What's this? What's that? How's it running? All it says, polished with complete overhaul, comes with AAA appraisal. I don't care what about the papers. I want to know. I want it written down. I want a detailed explanation. Let's have a look at that feedback. They got one negative about 12 months ago. Oh, okay, they've sold Panerai, all good. They've sold the Rolex, all good. Ah, here we go. It was over a leather band, not accurately described, that you have to pick up in person. Okay, so they didn't con anybody. They've sold lots of watches. Actually, they're all right. They made a mistake, that's fine. The pictures are good, but you'd have to ask them a million questions because they haven't explained anything. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, here we have this actually ended. Yep, this ended, bidding ended, but this is a Colt, different dial from the previous one. Quite used, but still very nice example. Good pictures, lots of details, and this actually ended. I just wanted to show you this because this ended for 1100, so you can actually get a Colt. Oh, this is a GMT. Oh, I didn't even see it. The GMT hand's hidden behind the minute there. There you go, you could just see it here. So a Colt GMT for 1100, that's not bad at all, really. It is a bit dinged up, but you know, it's not that bad. I mean, a GMT, a Breitling GMT for 1100, that's not bad at all. Right, let's move on. The last one, something very, very special indeed. This is a Sinn 903 Navigator, but this is no ordinary 903. This has the 1873 Lemania movement. Please, please hope they've put a shot on it. They haven't. Oh dear. 2,600, great price. If you put a cheeky bid and then you get it and you win it for 2,600, I think it's a good deal. Good feedback, 100%, all kosher. This is a private sale, this is a private person. What have they written here? Sinn 903, blah, 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 collector's watch, only one on eBay, very rare. The Sinn watches made today all are mass-produced ETA movements, and nowhere near the quality of Lemania. Well, I agree there, but you know, they're being snobby because they want to make their watch look better. That's fine. Insiders know this movement is one of the best. That's quite a clever thing. It makes the reader think this is a collector, this is special. I mean, it is actually special. Dial's a bit, it's definitely original. It's in pretty good condition. Yeah, crisp edges, showing its age, but Lemania were putting movements in the 903 ages ago, so he puts his phone number so you can call him. Papers hand wind, of course, because it's the Lemania. Probably going to be a little bit thinner actually, because we haven't got the rotor like in the Valjoux. That's the only thing I don't like about the Valjoux. They're so ruddy tall, you know. But anyway, I think it's a good deal if you want it for 2,600. Let's just have a look at Lemania movement. Let's just do a quick Google image search because I actually want to look at the movement. It's a shame he hasn't opened it up, but you can always do it yourself. Well, I wouldn't advise that, but here we are, one of the classic Lemanias. Hoyer version there. Let's actually look, let's look for the Sinn version. That's the 1873. Here we go. Right, so here we are. This is one with a display back, and just look at that. This hasn't really been decorated, but it's still a marvel to look at. It's gorgeous. I mean, yeah, okay, it's not, this one's not decorated, but it's still a marvel to look at, a marvel of engineering, really is. And of course that iconic Lemania logo, very cool, very cool. So you could actually match it to the photo like this and make sure that it's kosher, but I'm sure it would be. Actually, here it is. This is it, brand new. There you go. Yeah, that's it. That's it there. Beautiful, very beautiful. It's a shame it hasn't got the display back. That's a shame, isn't it? Oh well. What's the size? 41mm. Yeah, lovely, lovely. I would love one of those. I would love one of these. Definitely gonna hold its value. Anyway, with this beautiful Sinn, I think I'll leave it there. Let's take it back to the studio. Please don't forget to add your thoughts, queries, questions, opinions, all the rest of it down in the comments. I love hearing your feedback. Thank you very, very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and found it useful. I really do appreciate it. And of course, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, ciao.